Hey there, it's Seb Frey, and we're just right around the corner from Valentine's Day, so I wanted to share a story about something that I love. And what I really love is seeing my clients absolutely crush it with the sale of their home. And there's a closing that I had yesterday, just yesterday, and it was very, very sweet. And I really wanted to share it with you. This huge victory that my client had, right? Because this really is a story about her. She came to me, I think maybe close to 3 years ago, and she went to a home seller seminar that I'd put on, and I met her there. And then later that year, she did ask me to help put her house on the market, but she didn't really have any money to put into the house to get it ready for sale. And so on a shoestring budget, we did some of the basic things that you do. We did some landscaping and just touch up painting and decluttering, and we made the home look fairly presentable. And we put it on the market at $1.2 million and didn't find a buyer. And then went down to $1,175,000, no buyer. And then $1,150,000 and still no buyer. Now this was in late 2019. This is pre-COVID, right? So late 2019, the market actually hit kind of a slump. It was definitely a little bit soft there at the end of 2019, and I really thought that going into 2020, we were probably going to be seeing something of a correction. But hey, life has a way of surprising us sometimes. Anyway, we pulled the home off the market in late 2019 when she wasn't able to find a buyer that she liked, and she said, "You know what? That's fine. I'll just continue to live here indefinitely." And and that was totally okay. And and unfortunately, we couldn't get her house sold at that time because the market just wasn't there for her house at that price in that conditions. Simple as that. Um, well, here we are, like 2.5 years later, something like that. It's at the end of 2021, and sort of towards the end of October. She calls me up and she says, "Hey, Seb, I'm thinking about selling my house. In fact, I definitely want to sell it right now. I feel the market's really hot. Let's go ahead and sell this house. But there's one problem, and that is, the house does need a little bit of work. There are some things that I wish we could have done last time that we weren't able to do this time, that time, and how can we get the money to do that?" And it was a non-trivial amount of money that the house needed. I went over there and we looked at a bunch of stuff again, and I said, "Listen, I think this would be a great candidate for the Compass Concierge program." And she said, "What's Compass Concierge?" Now, for many, many years, I've offered what I call concierge services, which is that, I help sellers get their homes ready for sale, right? I'll bring multiple contractors over, get a bunch of different bids, and come up with a scope of work, and then, make sure that all the bids are apples to apples, and figure out which contractor is going to be able to provide the best service at the best price on the timeline that we needed to meet the seller's objectives, right? So that's what I call my concierge services. Then I oversee the renovations to make sure that everything is done, according to plan, and that the owner's expectations for quality are, of course, met. So I've done that for years. I think a lot of realtors do that, maybe not necessarily to the degree which I personally pride myself on doing it. But, this service kind of thing is offered by other people. But Compass Concierge, I'm with Compass now, and Compass Concierge is this amazing program where Compass will front money to the seller to pay for those improvements, right? So Compass will actually front up to $75,000 to a homeowner to make those improvements. And it's not audited, right? I mean, like, you can really spend this money on pretty much anything you want to, so long as it's going for the sale of your home. So that could be for painting, for landscaping, for appliances, for a new roof. It could be for home inspection, termite inspection. Could pay for storage of your furniture, or like whatever you need. Pretty much, you can use the Compass Concierge money for it. It comes in like a really nifty debit card that you get, an electronic debit card also. And you can pay most of your vendors that way. You can also have vendors bill directly to Compass Concierge, but most people just end up having it charged to their credit card. So I said, "Listen, why don't you apply for this Compass Concierge money?" And a lot of people, when I talk to them about the Compass Concierge money, they're kind of skeptical. They're like, "Hey, like, how am I going to qualify for this?" You don't need to qualify. It's not based on your income or your credit score or anything like that. It's really only based on the amount of equity that you have in the property. So they want to see at least 3 times the amount of the loan in equity in your property before they give that money to you. That's really about it. So she applied for that Compass Concierge money, and she was approved, and we got straight to work. And she asked for $50,000. We spent a little bit less than $30,000 getting it ready for sale, and we made the house look fantastic. It looked awesome, and I'm really proud of the way the house turned out. And she was very happy with it as well. And then, of course, the exciting thing is how the market responded to it. Right, the market just loved it. It ate it up. One of the things that makes improving your home so smart is that buyers are going to pay like 3, 4, 5 times the cost of those improvements, right? So if you spend $30,000 making improvements, it's going to result in a sale price that's 90 to like $140,000 or whatever it is, higher than if you didn't make those improvements. So it's really, really beneficial to a seller to make those improvements. But one thing that so many sellers come up against is like, where do I get the money to pay for those improvements? And then after I found out how to get the money, and then who do I actually hire to do it? Who makes sure it gets done right? Because a lot of homeowners, they've never done this kind of project work before. I do this all the time, so I have a lot of connections, and I know what to expect and what to insist and what to get from the contractors to make sure that we get the very best result for my clients. So all the repairs were done, and we put the home for sale sort of the middle of January 18th, and we had one weekend of open houses, Saturday and Sunday. Both days it was a total zoo. I mean, like, we had so many people through the house on both those days, and then wouldn't you know it, we ended up getting 6 offers on the property, and one of those, well, all of the offers were very good, but one of them was exceptional, and the seller did accept that offer, and then it did close in just 15 days, and it was non-contingent, as is, like the buyers never even came over to see the house again after they were in contract, closed. She's enjoying a rent back right now while she packs up the rest of her stuff, and she's walking away with way more money than she ever expected. We sold the house for $1.7 million when just over 2.5 years ago we couldn't get a buyer for it at $1,150,000. So a lot of that, obviously the market is much better today than it was back then, but a lot of it had to do with the fact that she did avail herself of Compass Concierge, and then she trusted me to help oversee all that and make sure that we got a really terrific result. And I'm just thrilled for her. I just love it when my clients have their expectations not exceeded but shattered, right? This is like way beyond anything that she ever expected to get for the sale of her home, and me too. I mean, like, it was a surprise, it was a pleasant surprise, and I just love stories like this. So now she's set. A lot of stress is gone, a lot of worry is gone. Now she's looking forward to being able to enjoy some time worrying about her and focusing on, like, her life and her broader interests, rather than having to maintain this home, which, her kids are moved away, she doesn't need anymore. Like, she just wants to do other things with her life, and now she has all that capital which she can go and take on with her to the next chapter of her life. So I'm really, really excited for her. It's wonderful, and that's why I just love stories like this, and I love it so much that I just had to share it with you. All right, well, that's it for this story. Listen, if you're interested in Compass Concierge or anything like that, please go ahead and you can shoot me a message. My phone number here at the bottom of the screen, it's 408-548-7348. Just give me a call or shoot me a text message. Or, of course, you can find me on Facebook and send me a message there. And it would be super awesome. I know this would be crazy, but if you would just click the bing subscribe button right there on my YouTube channel, Seb Frey TV, I would really love that as well. Hey, listen, thank you so very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And have a wonderful Valentine's Day, and I'll talk to you again soon.